I've decided that I'm going to remove the battery compartment after all, and that means that I need to disconnect this black wire here from the output jack. The output jack is a stereo jack, and it's the stereo part of it is being used to switch on the batteries, so when a jack plug goes in, it recognises the jack plug and switches the battery on. It completes the circuit. So I'm just going to desolder this wire if I can get into it, and then we can pull the whole system out. I could now replace the jack plug with a mono jack plug, but because of the shape of this jack plug particularly, it may cost quite a bit to find one equivalent, so I'm just going to leave it there. It just means that whoever I decide to sell these active pickups to will need to get their own stereo jack plug. And it's free. So what we're left with in the cavity now is a much simpler situation. We've got the two wires coming from the pickups, which we'll deal with later. All these black ones here are ground wires, which will connect to various places to make sure everything's grounded. This white one goes to one volume pot, the yellow one goes to the other volume pot, and this one will send over to the output. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now if you're dead keen on guitars like I am, then you'll know that these potentiometers need to be primed before they'll accept any solder. They've got basically a coating over the metal, which means the solder won't attach to them. We need to go in with a rough file and just rough up the metal a bit, just so that there's something that the solder can catch onto. But we'll see the difference between the unscratched pot and the scratched one. You see this shiny metal, and that is now where the solder can latch onto and make a connection, unlike here where it will just roll off. So I've started work here with what's going to be the tone pot. I've got a little orange drop capacitor on there, and this is the first time we're using an orange drop, so we'll see just how good it sounds. So I can launch that in. So this red wire coming from the switch will connect to the tone pot there. Because it's working as a master tone, that's the way it should go. There's also another red wire coming from that same terminal going to the output. So this will connect this pot to both the volume pots, making it a master tone pot. And typically I've just discovered that the holes are now too small for the bigger pots. The threads are just slightly too big to fit through the holes. So going in with a circular file to try and widen those out. If that doesn't work, it's re-drilling the holes with a size compatible to this. A little bit of desperate times call for desperate measures here. The round file won't take these out anywhere near as quickly as I would like them to. I don't really have a drill bit that will go for that sort of diameter, so it's Dremel time. Well, the Dremel did its job in getting that widened out far enough to get the new potentiometer in. There we go. Same with the other ones now. Now we've got all three potentiometers in there. We can get back to wiring this up. Now the conventional way to wire this up is to have the neck pickup connected to the topmost volume pot and the bridge pickup connected to the one further down. Although that's the conventional way, a lot of people would say that's the wrong way, because what happens most nowadays is that we use the bridge pickup the most, and therefore it would make sense to put the volume pot for that bridge pickup closest to it, because these are the ones we're going to be using the most of the time, so it makes sense to have it closest so we can do a bit of grabbing while we're playing. A neck pickup we use less often, and therefore it makes sense to put the volume pot a little bit further away, because we're going to set that in relation to our bridge, because we're using the bridge the most. So that's how I'm going to wire this one up. I'm going to wire it so the bridge pickup is connected to this volume pot, the neck pickup is here, and then the tone is the one on the bottom. Well, that's everything wired up nicely. I've got the bridge pickup connected to the top pot and the neck pickup connected to that one. And everything should be fine now, so I'm just going to tuck all these wires in. Tuck them all back in. Screw on my back plate and see if it works. After a setup and some new strings, this is the Ibanez ART with the passive pickups, and I must say sounds a hell of a lot better than it did with those actives. You can see there the P90 in the neck and the humbucker in the bridge, and these things now totally rock. This guitar has got a classic sound rather than the horrible active pickup sound it had before. It's got a classic bite to the bridge. The neck pickup is nice and beefy and smooth, and you can do some things just sort of just get that nice velvety sort of tone that you want for some little blues lines. As I say, the bridge pickup's pretty bitey. And the in-between setting's got a bit of a quack to it, really. Which is quite nice, I quite like that, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm going to do some sound samples in a second and just be able to see what's going on. I've got it mic'd up with the Rode mic there. We'll get this done properly. And my green screen's just fallen down. Fantastic.